Hello, and welcome to the African News Network. In today's top story, in Nigeria, organized labor unions have made a decision regarding their ongoing industrial action over the national minimum wage and electricity tariffs. The unions, which include the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, have agreed to pause their indefinite strike for 1 week. Early on Monday, Nigeria plunged into darkness as union members disrupted power control rooms, leading to widespread outages. Flights were cancelled, schools and hospitals closed. This marks the fourth strike since President Bola Tinubu took office a year ago. Amid policy changes such as fuel subsidy removal and currency devaluation, exacerbating the worst economic crisis in a generation. Having come to this decision to halt, unions still warn of further strikes if negotiations fail within the 7 days. What led to this decision, and what does it mean for the future of labor negotiations in Nigeria? Sources reveal that the temporary suspension of the strike came after a provisional agreement was reached between the federal government and the organized labor. This agreement includes daily discussions over the next week by the Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage to finalize the details. What assurances have been provided by the government regarding the national minimum wage? The government has assured union leaders that President Bola Tinubu is dedicated to implementing a new monthly minimum wage higher than the initial offer of 60,000 naira. This commitment was communicated after an extensive meeting led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, as part of the ongoing negotiations with the Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage. Media advisor to the president, Ajurin Gelale, stated in reference to the president that he is going to do what is right, but he's also going to ensure that while he does his very best for Nigerian families, irrespective of which part of the country they come from and what sector they operate in, he's also going to ensure that there is not a mass retrenchment as a result of any kind of move by organized labor to try and push the government to a threshold of agreeing to something that is in effect unachievable and unsustainable. A joint statement released at the conclusion of the meeting outlined a four-point resolution to address the dispute. Namely, that the President of Nigeria is committed to a national minimum wage higher than 60,000 naira. The Tripartite Committee will meet daily for the next week to reach an agreeable national minimum wage. Labour will respect the president's commitment and will hold a meeting of its organs to consider this commitment, and that no worker will face repercussions as a result of the industrial action. These resolutions aim to pave the way for resolving the dispute and restoring normalcy to Nigeria's workforce. Over the next week, the Tripartite Committee will engage in intensive discussions to finalize the new national minimum wage, marking a crucial phase in the negotiation process. It's also important to note the historical context of labor strikes in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu's tenure has been marked by several such labor disputes, highlighting the ongoing struggle between workers' rights and government policies. Previous strikes this year have underscored the persistent challenges facing Nigerian workers, particularly amidst economic uncertainties and a rising cost of living. Notably, earlier this year, workers protested over similar grievances, including demands for higher minimum wages and opposition to increases in electricity tariffs. These strikes have served as expressions of frustration by Nigerians and emphasize the demands for tangible improvements in the quality of life for workers across the country. For more updates as this story unfolds and more, stay connected to the African News Network on our website, mobile app, and social media platforms. I'm Cynthia Niviandi. Thank you for joining us.